Good morning, evening, afternoon, I'm tatocat. Welcome to my channel. Today we're playing Echoes, a Lucid9 Fangame. Previously, after beating General Yoshida, Rui had a bit of a moment, and I guess while she was stabbing him in the face repeatedly, we got to see this family with this mom who was all like this blob flesh thing that calls me mother, and then we got to hear a conversation between two mysterious people, and now I guess we're heading back or something, and that's where we left off. For most of its duration, the ride back to the Lotus Tower is eerily quiet. I sit at the front of the transport cabin, designed for 32 people, most of whom are now deceased, likely too irradiated to even be sent home to their families or for burial. The only other passengers in this vehicle are Hisao and Misaki. The former stares absent-mindedly at the floor as he taps his foot, devoid of any expression. Misaki, however, hangs her head dejectedly, sitting visibly racked with guilt. And I can't blame her for it. Aside from a sigh when we first took off, she's been completely silent, but it's obvious that the events of the past few hours are weighing heavily on her. I've heard some Black Star soldiers try unusually hard to repress their emotions as a matter of honor. So if something's burdening Misaki, I doubt she'll want to talk about it. Even so, maybe I should ask her how she's holding up. You holding up okay, Miki? Remain silent. Nah, it's fine. It's not that I have something against Miki, but at the same time, I feel like if I get close to Miki, I'll also get close to Satomi, and I don't like that. On second thought, I have no idea how Black Star does these kinds of things. By sticking my nose in now, there's a good chance that I'd just be infringing on somebody's honor. End mission. I had a nasally voice for her similar to Misaki's, but I can't remember exactly how I did it. Your cell commander has informed me that Yoshida Taisho and his deserters have met a swift and violent end. This is good. As honorable as he was, he had a habit of letting his conscience get the better of him. In hindsight, I suppose it was only a matter of time before the weight of his actions turned him against us. It was a stroke of luck, ma'am. We didn't know he was going to be there. Neither did I, Hayata-kun. I expected that his betrayal would make him a more intelligent foe. It is concerning that he would wish to make his last stand by attacking District 3, after allying with the Birdsong Collective, no less. If they are willing to assault the heart of our territory with attacks such as these, there is no doubt that our defenses will be tested upon their return. But But that is a different matter. The Mirakite demanded that the blood of these traitors be spilled, and today the Nijikawa runs red with it. Let the broken bodies serve as a warning to all who would raise arms against our Combine. As was our agreement, operatives, I transferred 20 million in to each of your accounts, plus a modest bonus for eliminating the ex-sentinels under Yoshida's commands. It's good to see that you're not as hesitant to kill as most of Saito Dono's men. I might have to request your involvement in our operations more often. This is a notice to a significant portion of our factories in Isamu, authorizing them for final conversion. Naturally, this process may take time, but I can assure you that Way Forward will receive our support shortly. Tell your chairman that he shall have his serum. Thank you, ma'am. You need not thank me, Hayata-kun. But when the Bugaisha learn what they are facing and come to you seeking answers, I hope you will tell them what transpired here today. Am I a Bugaisha as well? Or am I special? I hope you will tell them that while their incompetent government struggled to pacify them with ignorance, Kazahaya Combine was the first to see the writing on the walls. I shall keep you here no longer, operatives. However, if you wish to return to District 3, I've granted your armor IFF tags clearance to access the Lotus Tower at any time. Thank you for your assistance, Lucid Cell, and feel free to knock on my door again if you'd ever like to discuss business. Misaki has left the squad for the time being. Exit the Lotus Tower. Oh, I have stuff. District 3, the Silent Circle, controlled by Kazahaya Combine. Black Star Leader, Quartermaster. Looks like he can't do this stuff. Oh, like he has a gun, right? That seemed pretty cool. Purchase equipment. Purchase energy support modules. Ooh, I should buy some of those. And there's a new purchase/upgrade weapons. Experimental core weapon upgrade. Yeah. Not all weapons are created equal, but thanks to the development of experimental cores, we can help level the playing field by upgrading any eligible Kazahaya Combine weapon you currently have on you. This includes entry-level Tier 4 weapons, such as the X4 Suzumabachi pistol, which can be upgraded 3 times, all the way up to a powerful Tier 25 like the Kappa and Yurei. The Kappa? Like the turtle duck frog thing that has the thing on its head, dumps out the water and eats cucumbers, which can be upgraded once. If you have enough in for it, we can upgrade any K-Com weapon in your possession to Tier 1, and if wielded effectively, very few enemies will be able to pose a threat to you. Would you like to purchase the experimental core? Sure, why not? Seems like it'll come in handy. No, that's this one. Are you sure? Yeah, sure. Your X4 pistol has been upgraded to Tier 3. Cool. Yeah, that's what I'm doing with that, because I'm pretty sure I don't have all the money in the world. Okay, there's that. I want some more incendiary grenades. Okay. I feel like I can just get some of these other things to different locations. Back to city. Go with honor, operatives. What if I don't feel like it? So I guess there's no other choice but to return to District 2. You currently have multiple unallocated upgrade points. Would you like to allocate them? Upgrade skills. Upgrade party members. I'm going to upgrade lots of things because I have lots of things to upgrade. Okay, upgrade cybernetics. Upgrade intimidation, medicine, engineering, combat, charisma. Oh, is I in not intelligence? I thought it was intelligence before, but is that intimidation? Okay, we're gonna upgrade that. Rui's charisma stat has been upgraded to 1.0. How many points do I have? Upgrade available 6. I can't see everything over here because I have my little recording thing is covering it. Oh no. Okay, upgrade skills. I guess I'll keep doing it until it tells me I can't do it no more. Charisma. Now it's 2. Okay. What? My medical skill has been upgraded. I didn't mean to do that, but okay. Upgrade skills. Upgrade intimidation. 1. Upgrade skills. Yeah, I feel like having medicine was useful. Maybe I wouldn't have to, like, Button mash. Engineering. Okay, I guess I can't upgrade skills anymore. Okay, cool. So now I have engineering. Oh, intelligence is a thing. So was the other one intimidation or intelligence? I don't know. Charisma and some medicine. Alright, upgrade cybernetics. Upgrade resistance to 1. Upgrade mobility 2. Upgrade strength 1. Let me well-rounded. Okay. So I'm just passing them out evenly. Yeah, okay. So I was going to get raised some levels. Wow, Hisao. Look at you. 5, 6, 7. Okay. Everything's allocated. There she is. Here I be. Oh, it's him. No! A familiar face steps out to greet me as soon as I exit the cable car. Good timing, too. Provided he's feeling charitable, I might get some information on what happened to me in the factory. Or who happened, for that matter. I can still hear that damned voice in the back of my mind. It could have just been a hallucination caused by a botched protocol, adverse reaction that might explain why whoever was talking to me knew about Yama. If that's the case, though, why do I feel like I've heard her before? Something the matter, Hayata? I'm fine. Just trying to get used to these upgrades. Well, if you aren't fine, you're doing a good job playing it down. Had Nakamura not told me what happened to you on your previous mission, I'd likely think there was nothing wrong with you. Kosuke turns to Isao. I need to speak with Hayata privately, Suzuki. You're dismissed until further notice. Understood, sir. So, hell of a first day. Kosuke stares silently at me for an uncomfortable amount of time. His currently deployed countenance has his currently appeared countenance has, I keep saying has, there's no has there, appears to be the classic someone fucked something up face. I can't tell if I'm in trouble or if someone else is, but if the former is true, I won't be surprised if my actions today qualified as going overboard. Indeed. Briefing room, Hayata. Post haste. He would be the type who'd say post haste. I apologize for speaking with you at such a time as this.
Hayata, I know Nakamura wishes to run some tests on you in the medical bay, but I must confirm for myself that you are sound mind before she places you under the knife.
I suppose the calls I made today might have indicated otherwise.
Frankly, Hayata, you went a bit too far in quite a few places. I'm not going to lie to you about that. However, with that being said, the Special Services Division has gone a bit too far in almost every place there is. When I proposed the initial concept to the board of directors, I had no intention of creating a paramilitary intelligence organization that did things by the book. When you return to District 6, however, please try your best to avoid getting into any more firefights. Our relationship with DCIS is strained enough as it is. Overall, though, I wholeheartedly believe that you have what it takes to perform your duties.
So I'm not in trouble?
On the contrary, Hayata, I owe you an apology and an explanation. When you took down General Yoshida, one of our experimental neural node assembly modules overloaded and triggered a failsafe in your nervous system. As you might already know, the assembly itself is present in all SSD operatives, consisting of dozens of biomechanical processing clusters that are each linked to the others by a sort of mechanical mesh. Unlike incepts, the micro machines used in this mesh don't configure each neuron separately, but they do monitor and simulate different areas of the brain in order to optimize emotional and informational processing loads. The module that just malfunctioned was designed specifically for use in your NNA. Given your high viability for cybernetic augmentation, our technicians had integrated it into your neurology with the goal of sharpening your reflexes and increasing the overall firing speed of your neurons.
Why me? Would it have been dangerous to give these out to any other operative?
If their nerve repolarization rate was less than yours, then it would have been extremely dangerous. Even if that danger was mitigated through an upgrade neural node assembly, the average operative could only be pushed so far at a reasonable cost without risking total brain death. When we ran our first test, we discovered that under the right conditions, your neurons could fire almost 4 times as fast as most people's. However, your NNA's unique module is almost exclusively biological in nature. Over time, the module spliced genes into your neurons designed to increase your intelligence and processing speed, and that factor went up to 20 within the first year and 50 within the second. I did click too much. Before we introduced you to incepts, that was your stable operating limit. However, you know me, Hayata, and you know how important the Aurora Project is to this corporation. I'm not going to stop at stable if a burst of extreme focus is what it takes to keep you out of harm's way. If your goal is to keep me out of harm's way, you could always consider giving me a day off. Kosuke grins. I'll do what I can, Hayata. Since Nakamura still wants to poke around in your head, I don't intend to keep you here for much longer. However, I still owe you that apology. Sounds like you just upgraded me. Why do you have to apologize? What do you have to apologize for? Kosuke's expression immediately sours. He hurriedly turns away, his breath faltering in the near silent briefing room as he leans against a nearby screen table. He appears to be bracing himself for something. That much is certain. It's most likely a memory he'd rather not bring up. If so, I can understand that. I've got enough of those to last a lifetime, maybe then some. However, if it's bad enough to perturb this crazy, ruthless son of a bitch, when my research team first examined Yama 13 years ago, his traumatic brain injury stood out to us more than anything. More specifically, we saw great scientific merit in examining the portions of his amygdala that had atrophied at age of 17 during the events. I'm sure you remembered the accident as well as anyone who wasn't there could have. When that bus plunged into the Nijigawa River in February 2028, there were 72 people on board. 71 of them either lost their lives to blunt force trauma, hypoxia, or hypothermia from being submerged. Among the dead, there were some that I cared for deeply. The sole survivor of the accident was a boy, 7 years of age, one who somehow managed to avoid death from oxygen deprivation in partial submersion in water 2 degrees above freezing. I wanted to know why that was. Why had this child survived while all the others had perished? You know, I never placed my faith in miracles, Hayata. But serendipity has long since proven itself to be an ally of the world's survivors. Survivors like Yama Ishimoto. Thus began my detailed assessment of his condition. See, every time he had never just give a simple answer. He always had to give. He has to always like give us this long backstory.
he would totally be one of those evil geniuses who would like capture the good guy, tie them up in a chair, and then must pace back and forth and tell them his plan for world domination.
The neurons in vast portions of his amygdala, the parts of the human brain that spark our most fundamental fears and aggressions, had been stimulated so heavily and in such a state of peril that repolarization and continued functionality was all but impossible.
We'll hear more about this in the next